I found myself in a little bit of a sewing rut when it comes to making clothes recently, which really sucks because I'm definitely a spring and summer girly. Those are the seasons that I love making clothes for, and I already have a ton of inspiration saved. I'm just lacking the mental capacity to actually get started on a project. A lot of times with my projects, I will try to self-draft patterns or use clothes that I already have as a guide. It's really that prep and planning part of the sewing process that is my least favorite. So I've been seriously procrastinating, and I also just have so many ideas and things that I want to make that I don't know where to start, and all of that has just been holding me back. So I think I'm going to take a different approach just to try to get back into the swing of things and look for a pattern first and go from there. That way it takes the pressure off of the front end for me in trying to figure out the pattern and how to piece something together, and I can just work off of an existing pattern. I know Mood has a bunch of free patterns on their website, so I'm just gonna scroll there first to see what we got. I've used a pattern from Mood before. I made a pair of trousers and it went okay. The sizing was a little bit different. Okay, I think I found one. I absolutely love a midi dress, and I think that this one will be perfect for spring, so now we just gotta go find a fabric. I just downloaded the pattern and a part of me just died inside seeing that it is 67 pages. I'm looking at the layout to see if I can exclude any of these pages. Let me figure out what size I am. I think I'm gonna selectively print because I don't think I need all of these pages. Always has to come and lay on my fabric. Gotta get up. Thank you. I was not joking in the slightest when I said that the prep was my least favorite part of the sewing process, because I literally had to tell myself that I was gonna get ice cream when I was done piecing together the pattern and cutting everything out, and that is exactly what I did. As soon as I was done, I put everything away, went straight to the freezer and grabbed a pint of ice cream. And I may or may not have eaten the whole thing for dinner. Now I'm about ready for bed and I'm gonna read a little bit of Dune. I bought this book so fast after I saw part 2. When I tell you I was obsessed with the movies, it's an understatement. I don't know why I didn't buy the book after the first movie, to be honest. But here we are, because now I need to know what happens and I can't wait another 2 to 3 years for the third one. I'm not very far, but one thing about seeing movies before reading the books is that now I'm putting a face and a voice to a name, which I don't know if is necessarily good or bad. I will say though that having seen the movies so far makes reading the book a lot easier. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of reading before we go to bed. This was a really special day for me. My mom, grandma, uncle, and I took an impromptu day trip to Whidbey Island. It was a full car. We are dog lovers over here, and it was the first time that we've been able to do something like this since my grandma just recently retired. Before that, I hadn't known her to take a single day off. Quite literally, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, she was working, holidays and everything. Quick grandparent appreciation. I'm so incredibly proud of what they've been able to achieve since coming to the States, and I just want to say that I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So we ended up driving up through the island from the ferry terminal in Clinton, making a pit stop in Coupeville before continuing on to Deception Pass, which is a bridge that connects the island to mainland Washington state. When we got to the bridge, we found a pleasant surprise of a mini hike down to a beach below, where the dogs ran around for a little bit while we soaked up the last bits of the sun before heading back home. Today's a sewing day. I've got my comfy clothes on, jazz music playing on YouTube, and we're just going to get in the zone and see how much we can get done. I don't think that I'm going to get the whole thing done today, but try to get a decent amount. One thing that might slow me down is that I ended up being in between sizes, and so we might have to do some fitting throughout. I erred on the side of too big for the pattern because I don't have any leftover fabric, so I'd rather it be too big, take it in, than have it be too small and not have enough fabric to cut out another piece. I just did the plackets on the two front pieces, and now we're going to piece together the front and the back, try it on, do a little bit of fitting, and see if we have to make any adjustments. I just basted everything together because you're supposed to do French seams. There's no way that I was going to do all the work for French seams and then have to make adjustments. Oh, okay. The pattern calls for gathers in the front and the back. So just gather this until the side seam kind of hits my side. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like some puckering here on the armpits. So I think I'm going to take in the side seam a little bit more. And that way the back isn't too gathered either. Ugh. Might take it in a little bit more. I really don't like how it's puckering here. Another option is to add a dart, but do I really want to do darts? No. Decisions. Maybe just a 1/4 inch more. Just a little more, just a little more. Took it in the sides, and I think I've got my armpit the way that I want it to be. I might actually, yeah, I think it'll be fine. The only thing now is this gape in the back shoulder piece. So before I finalize these shoulder seams, I'll probably just take a little bit off of the top of the back. I think I'm good to do the French seams. I'm just sitting here getting ready to go to dinner with my mom and my grandma, a little girls' night, and I have already looked at the menu. Please tell me I'm not the only one who does that. Like, anytime I have plans to go to dinner or like literally anywhere, I will look up the place, look up the menu, and figure out what I'm gonna get ahead of time. But then still sit down at the table and open the menu and look through it again as if I didn't already know what I wanted. Now it's time to move on to this hair, and what I'm going for is middle part slicked down, high messy bun with some curls popping out. I saw this hairstyle on TikTok, and the way that the girl did it, she did 2 pigtails up top with the top half of her hair, and then combined it with the bottom when she brought everything up to the final bun. So that's how we're gonna try to do it. My whole face feels like it's gonna be lifted off of my body. My ponytails are so tight. When I curl these pieces, it'll come together. Got a little dilemma. This is the smallest curling iron that I have, and I was hoping to have tight curls. I'll just stick the bobby pins in here and call it a day. I'm gonna show you the back, but it's just gonna be for your eyes only. I'm not gonna look at it until I see this video. Is it cute? Alrighty. Makeup done. Hair done. Now I gotta get dressed. I totally forgot that I wanted to show you an update on the dress before I got dressed. So, off-body update. I sewed the skirt and attached the top and bottom with a waistband. The steps left are to hem the bottom of the skirt, add the buttons, buttonholes, and then attach the sleeves. I'm not very excited for the sleeves, so I've been putting that off because the instructions are not very clear. I might sew a little bit when I get back from dinner. It's a TBD on how tired I am. But fit, oversized button up, and oversized trousers that you can't see. For jewelry, I kind of want to accessorize with a long pearl necklace, kind of like loops. I just don't have one, but I do have somewhere beads and yarn, so we're gonna make one. Gotta leave the house like now. This is as long as we got. My camera is also about to die, so I'm just gonna wrap it around. Okay, gotta go. I fell a little short of my plan to get the dress done during my trip to Seattle. Here we are back in Chicago, but the vlog felt incomplete without finishing the dress with you guys. I just have the sleeves left, and I mentioned before that the instructions, you know, aren't the best. The pattern has an outer layer that's oversized for the gather and the poofiness, a lining piece, and a cuff. In theory, I think what is supposed to happen is we're supposed to gather the outer layer to kind of line up with the lining and then attach both pieces to the sleeve with the cuff. I don't know. This is like where the lining cuts off. The outer layer is taller than the lining because it's supposed to like wrap under to create a balloon effect. This is a terrible demonstration, but I just don't want to deal with the lining piece at all. What I'm going to try to do is add parallel basting stitches to the sleeve cap to gather it, and then an elastic to the bottom so I can just adjust it how I want on my arm. I feel like that's a lot easier than dealing with the lining and the cuff. Here's one sleeve test, and it's a little poofy for me. It's a little poofy for me, so I think I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. But other than that, I think it's pretty cute. I obviously haven't done the elastic yet. For the cuff, I just double folded and left a gap to insert the elastic. Now we're just gonna sew the elastic together and then close the gap. I'm hungry and I'm tired, but I am so close. I just have the tie left to do, so I'm gonna try to power through.